I don't regard what I do as the most important thing in the world at all, but it's right for me. I mean, I happen to be wired in a certain way that what I do works. Well, I can certainly define happiness because that's what I am. I get to do what I like to do every single day of the year. I get to do it with people I like. Other than that, I tap dance to work, and it doesn't diminish. It's tremendous fun. So success is getting what you want, and happiness is wanting what you get. Well, I don't know which one applies in this case, but I do know that I wouldn't be doing anything else. And I do advise you, when you go out to work, go to work for an organization that you admire, people you admire, because it'll turn you on. To make the money they didn't have and didn't need, they risked what they did have and did need. And that's foolish. That is just plain foolish. If you risk something that is important to you for something that is unimportant to you, it just does not make any sense. I don't care whether the odds are 100 to 1 that you succeed or 1,000 to 1 that you succeed. Yeah. Defining your circle of competence is the most important aspect of investing. It's not how important, how large your circle is. You don't have to be an expert on everything. But knowing where the perimeter of that circle of what you know and what you don't know is, and staying inside of it, is all important. It really gets into behaving in a rational manner and not getting in your own way. As I say, everybody here has the ability absolutely to do anything I do and much beyond. And some of you will and some of you won't. The ones that won't, it'll be because you get in your own way. It won't because the world doesn't allow you to. It will be because you don't allow yourself to. It's not necessary to have huge amounts of money in order to enjoy yourself. I enjoyed myself when I had my $10,000, and I live in the same house that I lived in when I had about that. I bought it 41 years ago. I liked the house then. I like the house now.
All right, man. Yes. What is going on? Hey, man, my name's Gerald Peters, and this is the MFG Bitcoin Trade Report, man. We're going to get into a little bit of Bitcoin. We're going to get into the money flow, and let's see what's going on, man. What's good with you? Hey, if you haven't already, hit that QR code. That'll get you to our flagship newsletter, the the petersreport.com, man. Sorry, I'm doing two different things here. Trying to prepare the lesson, trying to run this YouTube here, and at the same time, read a message that's come through, man. Hey, it's good to be here with you guys. I hope you're doing well, man. John, I see you. What's up? Lisa? I see you guys out there. I'm holding a copy of my book, The Money Flow, titled Money Flow Trading Sim. Good book. Very opening words here say, I want to say at the beginning of this book that I believe in buy and hold investing. I believe in the power of dividends to compound and to build massive wealth over time. I own many stocks that I've owned for many, many years that I do not sell or trade. I simply accumulate shares and grow my position. This book will help you do that. It can help you pinpoint the perfect buying opportunity. The majority of this will discuss trading, but don't limit the money flow trading system to just trading. It is actually, honestly, once you get into it, an entire way of seeing life. Seeing life is unlimited. That you can push your intent, that you can leverage your ideas and your thoughts into the universe and that the universe is friendly to your plans. It wants you to trade well. It wants you to do good, as I do, as everyone in the Money Flow Trading Society wants you to. And so if you're looking this time, maybe you're looking for someone to trade with. You're looking to get started. You like some trade ideas. And it's not so that you can, be fed all the time, but it's so that you can be equipped, so that you can see examples, so that you can learn. Get on thepeersreport.com, upgrade your membership. Let me know that you did so we can be friends. Text me. My phone number's there. Let's get you in that and you can get into my trade of the week. I got some coming out tonight that you're probably going to want to hear about. I'll be sending out 2 stocks that I think you need to own right now. 2 stocks. These are growth plays. They're both down about 50% from where they were and a long ways from where they could go. I'm going to drop these 2 stocks tonight. Get on the premium list or get in Discord. I'm going to drop this behind the paywall. Get in there. You want to get these stocks. Trust me, man. What we're looking at here. Hold on. Let me pull this up the right way. Bam. There we go. That way you can take me off of there. What we are looking at here is Bitcoin Cash to US dollar. So it's $ BCH USD. I'm going to drop the link to this. Oh no, here, let's grab the link. So I'm grabbing the link for this. Let me see if I can't. No, it's not set up for that. I was just checking anyway. But you can follow all of my charts. You simply go to the homepage, stockcharts.com. I think they let you do it even if you don't have membership of some kind. Click on your dashboard. Go to the dashboard. Everybody knows what dashboard is. Look left, you're going to see your chart list. Those are chart lists you've set up. Look to the bottom, you'll see public. That's where we got money flow trade ideas. Currently tracking over 200 stocks, commodities, ETFs using the money flow trading system. And I feel like we're doing pretty good. This Bitcoin Cash is currently sitting right at support. This is kind of where we thought it would be because price has stopped here before. 1, 2, 3. Now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 times in the last 6 months. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a lot. So that level is telling us something that we need to know. And look right here. Stopped it, 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 stopped it. That's like 2 weeks of this $440 level in Bitcoin Cash holding, okay? It held back here in February, it held back here in November, and it held back here in October. And so we know there's something special about this area right here. And if you turn to page 100 of the money flow, page 100, let me get there myself. Thought is the only power which can produce tangible riches from formless substance. The stuff from which all things is made is the substance which thinks. And a thought of form in this substance produces the form. Think on that, man. This is flowery language. Support and resistance represents key junctures where the forces of supply and demand meet. That's what this is. Supply and demand meeting. There are buyers and sellers. That's supply and demand. Buyers demand it. Right? Sellers provide the supply. Support and resistance represent key junctures where the forces of supply and demand meet. In the financial markets, prices are driven by excessive supply. Means people sell, sell, sell. more selling than there is buying, at least at this price level. So it comes down. And demand, which is gobbles up shares. Prices are driven by excess supply and demand. Supply is synonymous with bearish, bears and selling. Demand is synonymous with bullish, bulls and buying. These terms are used interchangeably throughout this and other articles. As demand increases, prices advance. As supply increases, prices decline. When supply and demand equal, prices move sideways as bulls and bears slug it out for control. That's right here. That's your, see the resistance? Bang, 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 bang. Now we're moving sideways. Now we're moving sideways. And so what we're trying to do, MFG, money flow gang, what we're trying to do with support and resistance, which is one of the six that we look at. We look at 6 things to trade. The most important that we look at is price. Price itself is an indicator. It is the only indicator that can pay you money, because where it settles, where price stops, that's where you get paid, or where you sell, or where you buy is where you enter, right? And so we realize that these levels, support and resistance, are levels, are what we call market structure. You guys hear that? Oh, there's a guy in the car. Market structure, which is determined by the candles, the bars, the low and the high and the open and the close. And from a series of these, what we call an ongoing feedback loop, right? And we know the markets are fractal, and we know that time is fractal, right? Let's pull this up. Hold on. While we're here, I'm going to get off topic a little bit. Novus Nordis. This is not Bitcoin, but this is Novus Nordis. I'm going to trade this the same way. I'm going to trade this just like Bitcoin. All right. This is the beauty of the money flow trading system. Let me come over here a second. Let's take me down a little bit. I'm going to trade these exactly the same, guys. Man, I've got so much time into doing this. You know? And look at this. Look at this. This is like classic. It's just rolled over perfectly. Look at that. Extreme, right? And now we're coming out. What happened? Big move down. We got the broken family, the 5 exponential moving average, the 10 exponential moving average, the 20 simple. They're spreading apart. They're breaking. Broken family. When you see that, expect that reversion to the mean, that snapback. That's what the RSI is measuring. It's measuring what? That potential snapback that's coming. Damn, dropping bombs today, man. Hope you got what I just said there. Time continuity. And look as they start to come together. You know, what happens when they start to come together right there, man?
Here come old flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he want holy roller. He got hell down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please.
And so, like the song, come together. We're looking for those moving averages to come together. Price goes up, price goes down, price goes sideways. No one knows where it's going. No one knows, with the collective souls of millions of people looking at the same fucking chart, how they're going to respond to the same information. We don't know. Human beings have recorded, have programmed the computers, even if they're computers. And we know that most trading is computers. So the way that I'm teaching you, I'm not teaching you algorithmic trading. I'm not teaching you high frequency trading. I'm not teaching you these things. What I teach is an old way of tape reading, chart reading, social sentiment reading, intuition, and trading with an idea and a concept and a philosophy that extends into all areas of life, because money and time are spiritual. Support is the price level, which historically a stock has had difficulty going below. It means it hits $10 and bounces. It's been doing it for a year, for a month, whatever. And that begins to build a level that we can start to have confidence that it's going to bounce off of. And the more confidence we have, the more self-fulfilling it becomes. And we begin to build these levels that become tradable. We trading ranges, and we have support and we have resistance. Resistance is a chart point, a range that caps or an increase in the level of a stock and index over a period of time. It won't go any higher. And we begin to build what we call a range. And inside of that range is where we make our money. All right, so this is Bitcoin Cash, the baby coin. Okay, this is silver to gold. I think this plays. I think we're about to turn $446 a coin into $570 and then $660, baby. I think we're ultimately going to $660. That's where I'm going to take some coins down. And then wait on the next pullback and load it up, man. So we're going to put right here, GP's target. Now I'm going to be in New Orleans tonight. You want to hit me up, grab a drink. Bring me some stock picks, baby. I need some. Yeah, we got plenty of room here. We could get a real nice run going. But well, here's the thing. We know this ain't going to happen if Bitcoin's not ready. So let's get that Bitcoin chart up. Boom, boom, bada boom. 70,155. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So we're on the move now. Man. If you don't have it already, listen to me. If you're not already on Coinbase, get the damn app, man. Use my referral code, man. Help me make a couple dollars. I'm going to make you rich, man. Least you could do is click the referral code. I am going to try my very best. I do this full time. I do this all day. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I know anything. I just play one on Instagram and YouTube. But I do know valuable things when I see it. And the petersreport.com, I have tried to make it the most valuable newsletter in all of Wall Street, all of the stock market, completely free for you. If you don't read it, you got something wrong with your head, okay? You don't even have to know how to read. It's mostly pictures. That's the crazy part. Let's see. You can now bet the prediction markets as well over at I guess I can't. All right. Anyway, I just bought a little XRP. But this is about the MFG Bitcoin Trade Report. Get on the Peters Report and you can get on the other newsletter. They're all going to help you, man. I'm here to help you. I do this all day long. I've read over 400 books on trading. I don't know how many seminars and webinars I've been to before the money flow trading system came to me as if it was divine, man. And I was in a casino and I just saw it clear as day. I saw the 4 stages and I saw which indicators I needed. And I saw the targets and the stops and the exits. And I saw how to track the multiple time frames. And I saw which stocks I should focus on. And it all came to me. Left that blackjack table. I went to my hotel room and I wrote it down. And I've been writing and rewriting it ever since. And so this book here is for you. Right now, I just got ebooks. Be happy to send you one. They're not expensive, man. And my book, You Don't Have to Die Broke. Stay with me. Just had someone in the MFG do their 6th renewal. 6 years. We've been trading together. They're only going to get richer. The longer we stay together, the more money you accumulate, my friends. And don't worry, we're going to get there on this trading stuff. If you're not a winner, we're going to make you a winner. All right. Now, right here, you're looking at a Bitcoin 1-minute chart. Say who would want to trade a 1-minute chart? Well, me, because I'm day trading today. Notice it broke through the 200 and then it used it as a bounce. So what used to be resistance Overhead resistance becomes support once you break through it. Man, I hope you understood what I said there. It's pretty important. But let's look at what we got going here on a daily. All right. I like it. When we get this much sideways action, and we have something valuable, Bitcoin is the most valuable code in all the world. It has the most efficient record transactions that it can do. Better than you, better than me. It does not forget. The blockchain doesn't forget. There are no lies. Price right here is stuck in what we call a channel. Okay. And inside of this channel, price is just bouncing. And we know until it breaks out of this or breaks below this, it's just noise. It really is. And yet people will fret this, will talk about this. They want to keep every dollar they make and they want to share in none of the losses. You better get used to being a loser, baby. A fucking loser. Because trading is about losing and how well you do it. And do you do it right? Because if you can't lose, you ain't got no business being in the stock market as a trader, man. Time for you to go. Get out. Go do something else. Now, if you still here with me, let's get the bag, man. Let's get some money. This is just about Bitcoin. It's all I'm going to be covering today. I did touch on a little bit of Nordis NBO. If you're in my trade of the week, that may be one of the runner-ups, by the way. We have a long-term. This would be a supply and demand. This would be supply. Down we come. This would be a demand area. So we might have demand down here, and then we might have supply issued up here. As it gets up into that area, people that are underwater, maybe they added down here. Now maybe they're back to even or they're above war. See what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different ways. A lot of people looking at it differently because you don't know when they got in, where they're getting out, or how long they plan to hold it, or why they even bought it. So if you can't learn, if you don't know those things, you don't know who those people are, you can't actually assess what might happen in the markets. So keep that in mind. Don't let something so stupid derail you or keep you from having $100,000 more when you're 32, or $500,000 more when you're 42, or $2.53 million more when you're 52 because you're too damn stubborn to listen or learn. Don't be that person. Never be the radical. Okay, don't do that. Don't argue with people. Don't add any of that, man. Let them deal with that, not you. You got a bigger mission. Your job is to get rich. Your job is to focus on your trading and your investing. That's your job. All right. And it's not fucking optional, by the way, either. Support is a price zone where buyers see value and step in and start buying up the shares, stopping any further decline in prices, like we saw down in here. So that's what we see down in here, man. This 62,500 range down in here. What are we seeing? Demand. They're buying it. It ain't going no lower, man. They're going to buy it and run it up. Now, maybe here's my fear. And this is okay as traders. Here's my fear. I mean, just take it down. But that still has us running. Even if we have a sloping downtrend and we can just chart it. We're at 70,000. We're at the bottom end of that. We could run into 85,000. That's making a bunch of money with perpetual contracts that trade at 1/100th. They give you margin 10-1, and they trade it at 1/100th of the Bitcoin. So buy 100 contracts, you got a full Bitcoin. That's going to cost you about $9,000. $9,000 controls the whole Bitcoin. It's fucking amazing. So if you want to trade, you don't need 25,000 in your account. Oh, and by the way, you don't need 25,000 in your account to get fucking margin to get involved in the second income stream. We can do that too. So we're trading Bitcoin. We're swing trading dogs of the Dow. We're swing trading the ones that we're following. We own a buy and hold where we're collecting dividends. We have the assist strategy where we're collecting dividends, right? We have the B&B strategy, and then we have the day trading strategy. All of these fall under and are basically done exactly the same way with this harmonious system that flows across all different time frames and levels. because time is fractal. Fractal is a never-ending pattern that is self-similar across different scales. It is created by repeating a simple process over and over again in this ongoing feedback loop. That's what time is. That's what the high, the low, the open, and the close is. That is an ongoing feedback loop that we are receiving from the market. And so we react. We position ourselves to profit. We position ourselves. Driven by recursion, fractals are images of dynamic systems. The pattern and pictures of chaos. Geometrically, they exist in between our familiar dimensions. Fractal patterns are extremely familiar since nature is full of fractals. Man, what we're talking about there, when you walk outside and you look up and it looks like it might rain, that is a fractal pattern, my friend. That is a fractal pattern. All right, let's look more at this Bitcoin. I'm going to put links to this in the show notes. If you're not already on, get on the damn Substack for Bitcoin. Go to Substack, search Gerald Peters, search Bitcoin Trade Report or the MFG Trade Report. We're already in, but we've got the 5 exponential average crossing the 10, and the 10 is crossing the 20. They're all 3 pointing up. We're below the 200-day moving average in a very valuable, one of the top 7 assets in the world, okay? I expect this to go higher. Expect us to run in the 85 range. Up in there is where I'd be looking to take some profits. What was the floor down here around this 86,800 to 87,500, right around in that level is what used to be support, now becomes resistance. And I think that should play out. So, hopefully that helps, man. Long Bitcoin, I laid the leverage on. Okay, do that at your own risk. Sometimes using leverage is less risky because you can use less money and you're already got your stop losses built in, meaning the contract goes to zero. Playing BITO in the stock market, playing BITX in the stock market. It's also going to push up all of our crypto stocks, MSTR, CLSK. There's a whole bunch of them on the board, man. We got about 6 or 7. If you go to the whiteboard, look around down the bottom to the left side, I think you'll see where a little thing that says crypto. These are stocks that are directly related to Bitcoin. There's a bunch of them. Hey, hit me up, man. Text me. 1-9. If you text me the word new, man, new, you're a new trader. Get in, upgrade on my things. And if you want to work with me, not one-on-one, but if you want to work with me closer, come on over to Discord and trade with us. Let me know that in text. And whenever I make a move, I let you know. I text you and we can make moves together, man.
So I think we're in a period where we had a bear market already in software, the Mag 7, and in crypto. I think that's already taken out a lot of speculation. So to me, I think our bet would be markets are actually going to lift through the end of the month, that we're going to actually be positive for March and maybe hit 7,300. Later in the year is when we think a bear market might show itself.
What about oil, right? We're watching it so closely. We're driven by headlines, some of which are apparently erroneous. I don't know what do you do with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very confusing time. I think it's very difficult if someone's trying to trade both the headlines or trade oil. But if I look back at the last 2 days, oil's $15 higher than it was last week, but the S&P's higher. So to me, the market actually is handling higher oil prices better. And, you know, we wrote in our note this morning that we think higher oil prices are actually good for the U.S. stock market.
Yeah, see, I think that's going to be a really hard sell for people who are watching this program, like trying almost too hard to paint some bullish scenario. How in the world are higher oil prices, which then mean even higher gas prices, which mean higher jet fuel prices, and all sorts of other issues that are related to that, input costs on a whole number of other industries? How is that possibly good for the stock market?
Yeah, part of it's a relative. You know, one, U.S. is an exporter of oil, so we net benefit as an economy from higher oil. The second is other countries are importers, so the U.S. not only looks better, but on a relative growth basis, it should outperform, which means flows back into the U.S. And the third is, as we worry about global growth for all the reasons you describe, when growth is scarce, people buy growth stocks. The U.S. stock market is a growth index. So it's coming out of the rest of the world back into the US. So I think it's a rotation story.
All right, speaking of growth stocks, tech has been up for debate, certain parts of it more than others. We're going to get Oracle earnings after the bell tonight. You told me earlier this morning on the stage there on the beach that you think software's bottomed.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think software has bottomed because we tend to price in the negative risks early, which I think's happened, and we've seen the multiples come in. You know, the IGV, which is the software ETF index, has lost 5 multiple points. Now the forward PE is 16 times. So to me, you're trading this like a cyclical industry now, and I think out of that universe of 110 stocks, many actually have durable businesses. So I think you're getting paid to buy it here at 16 times.
What about the broadening trade? Where does that stand? Now, again, if we're talking about, you make the statement that higher oil prices are actually okay, or if not better for the stock market. Doesn't the broadening trade have an issue with that? I mean, if you start worrying about the impact of higher oil prices on the economy itself, how does the broadening trade work?
I think it's a good question. And we do have to remember there's the stock market and it's not always the economy. So I think the US economy is going to have some risks for the reasons you described, which is why I think growth stocks start to look better, which is a lot of tech. And again, the US is a growth index. I'd probably lean towards growth stocks outperform, which is not necessarily a broadening trade.
Let's finish with a quick one on Bitcoin, because I think it hasn't traded like many had suspected it would at times of turmoil in the market. It wasn't a safe haven play. It wasn't digital gold, so to speak. I mean, gold was gold, and gold traded well. So where does Bitcoin go from here? Is your confidence in it in any way shaken?
It's not. I mean, Bitcoin did basically break on October 10th because that was the biggest deleveraging event in the history of crypto. When gold went up, Bitcoin went down. But I think we have gone through a winter where a lot of the speculation and the leverage is gone. And I think this weekend kind of showed Bitcoin is coming back in vogue as a store of value because oil prices went up, but over the weekend, crypto prices actually surged, and Bitcoin, as you know, is holding above 70,000 now.